Welcome back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. I'm your host, Scott Minton. Today we are sitting down in the Bourbon Bunker. Nick's hitting the mic already. We just got started. Have you been drinking before I got here?
No. I guess it seems like it. I'm all over the place. I almost dropped my glass.
So I guess it's only fitting that Nick's picks number 4 is 4-Gate.
Wow, we just did that. That's awesome.
It is. We just made that just made it up. Just went right with it. It is actually ironic that this is the 4th episode.
Can I say claim? Can I say claim like that was a great idea on my end?
Is
it too late to do that?
No, you can absolutely say that was intentional. I don't even know that we realized it, but we can say absolutely that was intentional on Nick's behalf. Since we're doing Nick picks, and you've shown us what Blue Run, you've shown us Smoke Wagon, we did Copper and Kings Barstown.
Barstown.
Yep. Which had the Copper and Kings bottle in it, and now we're going with 4-Gate.
Yeah. So it's all things like usually the people around the community and locally know that I like. So I get a lot of tags and a lot of these posts. Huge 4-Gate fan, big fan of what they're doing. They are not a distillery. They are a brand, so they do source a lot of theirs. I think they have probably one of the best finishing processes across the industry, personally. So great things.
So what do you think that they do that makes them unique from the other finished products that are out there?
I think it's just quality. I think with Bill and Bob, Bob has huge connections with the cooperage, some of the barrel brokers and stuff like that. And Bill's palate is just unbelievable. I mean, he owns Modern Thirst. If you haven't checked that out, again, it's a nice blog. There's a lot of local writers that help with that. But I think his palate is just absolutely phenomenal. So having the quality barrels, these are all small batches. I don't think they have they have a single barrel out this year, but as far as all the other batches, it's all small batch. So they really go with quality. So they go, instead of buying, hey, we're going to buy 100 barrels of Heaven Hill or whatever, and you might get 2 or 3. They're spending the extra money to really get like, hey, we need these barrels at this distillery, whatever distillery that is. And then they're going a step above and really focusing in on the finishing process. So like I know for number 6, Bob showed me pictures of the Cognac casks. And when you get the true Cognac cask, you're talking about the big...
Yeah. What was it, like 75 gallons or 110? Or?
Yeah. I mean, it was big, and they had to ship it over. And he said it was so old and everything else, like they were actually afraid it was going, like they couldn't fit the lid back on. So he said there was like gaps where he could stick his arm in.
Oh God.
Yeah. So he thought, because they had to import it.
Right.
So he thought at one point it's going to dilute the flavor. But they do like a primary finish for X amount of time, and then they do a secondary finish. So what we have lined up today are probably my 3 favorite bourbon 4-Gates.
So all of these say Kentucky straight bourbon, which means they were sourced from the state of Kentucky.
Right. So we're going batch 1, batch 6, and batch 12. So you got basically the Kelvin Collab, which is the first one they ever did. Kelvin Collab 2, Kelvin Collab 3.
Gotcha. So all 3 of the Kelvin Collabs in order, 1, 2, and 3, and it's batch 1, batch 6, and batch 12.
That is correct.
Now these bring in around, what, 120, 125?
Yeah. Easy. First one, batch 1's 123.4, then it's like 126, and then it went back down to like 123.7. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So diving in, it looks like we have batch 1.
I'm going to let you talk about batch 1 while I'm smelling and
tasting. So this is finished in sherry casks and then finished in a secondary cask, rum casks. And I do believe, talking with Bill and Bob, they actually imported these, like the good rum casks, from like Jamaica. So again, I don't think there's any expense spared in these. It kind of goes with the price point. I mean, each one of these is $179 to $199 per, which stings the pocketbook a little bit. But when you understand like where they're getting the casks and everything associated with it, the hand labeling, just the minute details on the bottles, I mean, it really adds up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is definitely a unique nose. I mean, you said sherry, like, which I'm not getting at all, but I'm definitely getting the rum. Like, I'm getting some of those like molasses, candied sugar.
The rum cask really brings out in this one. And this is actually one of my favorite, and I think that's probably why it is. I don't get much of the sherry, but that rum really sticks out, and I think that's probably with the barrel.
So do you like aged rum?
I do.
Okay. And some people do. I love aged rum. I also like a few spiced rums, but I'm not one of those people that likes white rum or anything like that.
No, I get pretty finicky. There's one of my recent go-tos has been like the Rolling Fork, like the 13 years finished in like bourbon barrels and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Rolling Fork's doing some fantastic stuff. All right, so right away, big pop like molasses, brown sugar up front.
You get some of that wood note.
A little bit of wood. It's definitely the oaks coming through on that one.
This one, I'm getting a nice little Kentucky hug. I mean, it's hanging on in the chest. It's not like super like...
So I'm not getting that at all. That's weird. But let me go back in. Maybe I'm missing something.
It's not like the super heartburn. I mean, it's definitely there. I get it.
I feel like it's really staying above the collarbone, like way above. But everybody's different, right? That's one of the things I love about bourbon so much.
Oh yeah, just being able to get together and discuss. I tell people all the time.
But this is sweet. Like, I mean, it's super sweet.
Yeah, and for 123 proof too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this does not drink 123 proof. Like, this is like 105 max. I mean, super sweet. Sugar on the front side.
You kind of get some of that spice. Like I'm starting to bring out some of that little spice.
Yeah, there's some pepper in the mid palate, definitely. Yeah. But man, I mean, it's just so sweet up front. Like,
and I think that's what it is. Honestly, on the nose, I get more of that. Again, those rum notes. But on that front, I guess more of those sherry sweet notes, and then kind of dries out, and then I kind of get some of that spice. So almost takes you like, hey, Kentucky bourbon, up here's the sherry, and then it finishes you off with that rum. So
yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm not picking up much on the sherry. I put a drop of water in here for this last little bit just to see what it does with it.
No, I definitely get a lot more of the rum than the sherry. But maybe the sherry just mellowed it out a little bit, and then the rum just popped.
This is a no water for sure. Like, it literally just dilutes the flavor. But, man, I'm going to tell you what, this thing's fire on the front, man. Like I said, that rum really, really pops. You get that molasses, brown sugar, caramel, toffee. I mean, it's just sweet. And then you get that nice rye pop in the middle, mid palate. And then, like I said, I didn't get a whole lot of finish. You're saying you got a nice finish. I mean, but the finish is good. It's just, to me, it was just a little shorter than I was expecting, especially for that 120 proof.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some 120s that will give you that hug, and you're just like, okay, wake me up. Like I said, I'm not saying it's super long, but I definitely got it.
No. I get where you're coming from. It's all good. So the second one you said is
So this is number 6. I think this may have been like a finalist for the Fredmanick Ascot maybe a year ago for one of the best finished bourbons. I know. I want to start wearing a bow tie, and that's it. I'm just gonna I'm not gonna wear a shirt. I'm just gonna wear a bow tie. And
just a bow tie,
and that's gonna be my calling card.
That'd be sexy. I'm feeling that, man. As long as it's a polka dot bow tie.
It's not going to be Chippendales. It's going to be Chip and Nick.
It's got to be. Like I said, it's got to be a bow tie with polka dots, man. We got to bring some flavor to it.
Okay, we can make this work. So this is coming in at 126 proof. So this is their second iteration with the Kelvin Collab, Batch 6. This one is finished in cognac and rum.
So, man, first thing I noticed on this thing was the legs. I mean, just it's hanging to the glass.
This one's definitely a lot more oilier than the first one. I think the color is actually, I mean, they're all pretty close. To me, this one seems a little darker, but, I mean, it could just be, again, it's a slight nuance. It still has that rich amber color.
The nose is unique. I do get a little bit of that cognac on the nose, like you're talking about there, but I don't know, man. The nose is weird. I'm not a big cognac fan either, so this is going to be a tough one for me just in general.
See, I'm picking up a lot more, whereas the first one I got a lot more of those rum notes. I'm getting more of the cognac notes. That's
what I'm saying, yeah.
On this one.
Yeah, like even the nose, you get cognac, that smoky, like cigar-y type,
yeah,
nose and a little bit, which I like it, and I'm not trying to compare them, like it doesn't have the same nose, but like when I think of that cognac-y type thing, I think of like more of like a cigar batch type Joseph Magnus, that type of thing is what I typically think of.
Like even that Starlight, that cigar blend.
So to me, that's a totally different monster than most other things. I don't know why those Brazilian Embraers bring so much weird flavor to that bourbon, but I mean that tastes like you're literally just licking a cigar with bourbon.
I remember trying it. I was like, okay. Like, I get it.
It's definitely a different flavor. I love the Starlights. Those Brazilian Embriones or whatever are just fantastic.
This one doesn't drink as hot as the first one, even though it's a higher proof.
It doesn't drink as hot. But the cognac really comes through on this. I feel like
I don't get it near the rum.
I wonder what kind of cognac it was.
I don't have an answer. All I know is I saw pictures of the giant, like, whatever, cask.
Cask, right?
Yeah.
So it's always one of those weird things. So, like, because I want to know, like, what kind of cognac was it? Because I want to go try the cognac and be like, so do I like the cognac by itself or not? Because I'm not a big cognac fan. I actually like a little bit of Armagnac, but I don't necessarily like cognac.
Yeah, I do like my Armagnacs. And maybe that's why I kind of like more of the brandies and stuff like that.
It's a possibility, you know. That's what all that stuff's all about, right? It's all trial and error. Put a couple of drops in this bad boy, see where we come out at, and go from there. Nick's like, I know how I like these, so I'm not adding water. But I have to do it for science, right? Isn't that the rule?
That is the rule.
Bourbon Barrel talking science, adding water.
Yeah, just don't get those rum notes.
So adding water to this, like, it turns the nose to fire. Like, it literally, like, it opens up whatever it is in the spice of that and, like, burns your nose. It's like singes my nose hairs a little bit. It makes it much more alcohol-y on the nose with a little bit of water.
You know, after I set this down, I do think it brings out, smell that glass after. Now you get, like, that sweet, like, almost like a rum, like almost like a sweet, I can't put my nose on it now.
It's still really alcohol-y to me. You rinsed yours after yours was gone, so I'm going to try that and see what happens, just a hair, and see what that finished on that nose is. But
between the two, if we had to go between the two right now, I think I'm going number one over number two right now. I just think the complexity was number one.
So for me, I did a rinse like kind of like what you did, and it's definitely sweeter, but to me it's almost like a fruit-forward rye.
Okay, no, I see where you're coming from, yeah.
Huh, that's really weird. I don't know. Not hating it for sure. All right, so the last one is batch 12. How's this one finished? And
yeah, so this is one of the newer ones. They actually just came out with 14. So you should be able to still find 12 on the shelves. I doubt you can find number 1. Number 6 you'll have to get lucky, but number 12 should be on the shelves. This is finished in PX sherry casks and then finished in rum casks. So it's kind of going back to the number 1, but with a different type of sherry cask.
So it's sherry, PX, and then rum.
Yep.
All right, so the nose initially on this is much more wine forward. So the sherry really comes through on the nose. I'm getting some of that grape, a little bit of more of a acidic type alcohol smell with a little bit of sugar. I'm going to say it's almost like a pear, and I know there's no pears in sherry. All right, I'm going to dive in and take a sip. I'm going to let you tell me what you think.
Man, I like this.
It must be really good because you're smacking your lips over there.
Yeah, no, and I think this one actually won the Ascot Award this year.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, man, that is so unique, though. Like, it's not sherry, it's not rum, but there's something in the middle there. But, like, it's reminiscent of both. Like, it's just so weird.
Yeah. No, each one is their own. What's funny is each one's their own. So it's 1, 2, and 3, but each one, like, you know, they finished in these rum casks, but you have, like, a sherry cognac and then the sherry PX, and it's just, like, each one has its own thing. So, it's...
Yeah, so to me, this is a lot on the up front, for one. So it's like that, your lips, the tip of your tongue, and then it goes into the mid palate, which is a little bit less. But man, the fruit really pops on that mid palate.
Yeah,
like apple, pear, something like that. And then man, the rye, just
that finish.
Yes,
it has that spice. I can't put my finger on that fruit note though. Like I get that fruit note in the middle.
Yeah, it's more like apple or pear or something like that.
I'm telling you,
it's not stone fruity though.
No, it's not stone fruit at all. But that mid palate, I could just I keep looking the inside of like my cheeks.
Yeah, I don't. I wish I could pick it out. It's just very, very, very unique for sure. But that finish, man, nice Kentucky hug. Gets all the way down into the collarbone. Warm, effervescent. It's got it hits all the spots for sure.
Yeah, I like that spice on the back end too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go for a little bit of water here. I know it's against the rules for Nick because he's decided today he's not going water today. I'm afraid this rye is going to really just jump out of this thing whenever I add this water to it. We're going to see, though. I'm also afraid we're going to lose the mid palate. We'll see.
Man.
You're huffing, man. You're huffing it like like a drug addict with a can of.
I am. It's just like
whippets.
the nose on this, on the empty glass. I get one of those. It's
So I don't hate this with water. Of the three, this is the one I would drink with a cube.
I could see that. It's the second hottest, so it's 123.7.
But that being said, I still prefer it neat.
Yeah.
So I don't know, going crazy here. All right, I'm gonna try the water swish and see what happens with the glass and everything else here.
Yeah, I mean, just smelling the empty glasses, I get a lot more of the sweetness on the first one, but that last one just it has the sweet, has that wood.
So yeah, especially at the end now that I'm smelling it at the end, I'm getting like
it almost is like that. I call it the Jamaican funk. It's almost like this weird. It's going to sound weird. It's going to sound like it almost smells like a little bit of like a rubber Band-Aid.
I kind of get that. I'm also kind of like, if you took rum and mixed it with almost like tobacco.
Okay.
Like if you dipped a cigar in like a rum.
I get where you're throwing down.
Yeah, it's definitely unique.
It's a unique nose. It's hard to describe some of these things.
Yeah, especially after the fact. This is definitely a glass I could literally just sit around and sniff.
Yeah, I mean, I have. I've been doing that for the past 5 minutes.
I know, I'm watching. I can hear it too.
Now, we went down to the Heaven Hill Bourbon Experience this past week, and again...
So I'm assuming you got your fancy bottle?
I do. It's right behind me.
Well, I see it.
I label, but they have a sensory station.
Gotcha.
So if you haven't been or you haven't done like a sensory kit or a sensory station, I highly recommend it. Like I said, it's one of those you can smell kind of what like what a clove, cedar, some of these what they're supposed to smell like. So for the listeners out there, it's a good little tool. I know sensory kits aren't the cheapest, but it's fun.
They're definitely not the cheapest. They are a ton of fun. And the main reason why, I honestly think it helps train your nose. Like, what are you looking for? What's that scent? Like, where's it coming from? But
I mean, I have 2 tasting wheels here. I haven't busted it out yet, but again, looking through that and kind of matching it up, because sometimes you just need a little push.
No, absolutely.
It's like, what is that smell? And then you can go to your little kit and you're like, I think that's what it is. And everyone's nose and everyone's palate is different. So, like, when we went down there, we had a wonderful debate on like 4 scents. It was like, I think this is wrong, and the guy's like, well, I smelled it, and it was fun, and it's not like we're heated and arguing, but it was like one of those like, why, and then it brings back memories, and then we talked about like, well, I got this because I remember cloves. Well, cloves, I remember DeJarme black cigarettes being a big thing back in the 90s.
Right.
So I remember walking around, on like the mall or whatever, like, or where people could smoke and smelling this very distinct smell. That's, then we talked and
all the weirdos with tattoos on their neck that.
Yeah. The jar and blacks, that's bars and whatever it is, very distinct smell. But, then we started talking about stories, and we were there for like 45 minutes, and it was just fun. So anyway, 3 great glasses.
The hardest one for me to pick up is when people say, oh my God, that's blueberry.
I've never had a blueberry smell before.
Me either. Like I literally to this day, I don't think I could tell you what a blueberry smells like. I can tell you what it tastes like, and maybe that's the difference. Maybe somebody's like, what I taste when I taste a blueberry, that's what I'm smelling like, and that's the only thing I can come up with, because I don't know what I mean, even when I smell blueberry jam, because I like blueberry jam or blueberry marmalade, things like that. To me, it just smells sweet and faint. Like there's not a whole lot of pungent flavor to it, or pop to the flavor or the nose on a blueberry. So I don't know. So yes, 3 very unique bottles, very different. 2 of them are rum finished with a different type of wine. Oh, all of them are rum finished?
All of them are rum finished. It's just you got the sherry, the cognac, and then the sherry PX.
Okay, I missed that. I thought it was just strictly cognac. So it was cognac and then rum. Gotcha. Okay. I didn't pick up the rum at all on the second one.
No, I got more of the rum on the first one. I didn't pick up a lot of the rum on the second. Right. The second 2.
So I don't know if I'm gonna fall in line with you. I'm gonna go 3, 1, 2. So I'm gonna go the rum PX first, the batch, which is batch 12, batch 1, which is rum and is it cab or rum
and sherry,
just regular sherry, and then my least favorite is the cognac and rum finish.
Actually, I'm gonna agree with you that number 12 stood out above the rest. I do like number 1, but number 12 just...
Yeah. One was a close for me. Like, yeah. I could...
I mean, they're all good in their own right. Right. But today, number 12 to me stood out above the rest. And then I'd go 1, 6. And each one of them, again, they'd be close. But maybe I'm on a rum kick. I don't know. I kind of just like those notes on that number 1 a little more than number 6 right now.
No, I'm 100% with you. So I'm going to leave it up to you. I expect you to line it up. We need to talk with Bill and them and find out what what makes them tick, what makes Foregate, and
they live.
Have a great conversation with them.
Bob lives right down the road. Maybe we can get him in, and then I got every expression out there, so we can do whatever we want. Whether it's split stave, and we can talk about this. Great people. Can't speak more highly of it. Often donate to charity. Just good stewards. So it's like I'll work on getting them on the show, and then we'll get some more Foregate.
Good deal. Absolutely. If you want to find Bourbon Barrel Talk, you can find us at bourbonbarreltalk@gmail.com for an email. If you want to look us up on social media, we got Facebook, we got Twitter, we have Instagram. Instagram and Facebook are our 2 most prominent. I do like to tweet every now and then. Typically, it's at other people, but not really necessarily what we're doing. If you want to ask us any questions, you can Facebook Messenger or email us at the bourbonbarreltalk@gmail.com account. Website's still under construction, still working on some stuff there. And if you have any questions, send them in. If you have something you want us to try, review, send that question in. We'll be more than glad to do the best we can to find those bottles, give you a review, so that way you can, I'm going to call it shoplift it before you buy it, because we most likely have it.
We don't condone shoplifting, though.
No, we don't condone shoplifting, but isn't that what the old DJ... No, wait a minute, you're not from this area. So there was a radio station here, 99.7 DJX. They used to always say that you could shoplift it before you buy it because it was like tickets or some kind of special sale item.
I call it like window buying.
There you go. Window shopping, yeah.
Yeah, like when you go to like Best Buy, like, hey, that looks nice, and then you like try it out and like, and I'm going on Amazon for like, or whatever. whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can give you information about the bourbon you want to try, and maybe you'll want to try it a little bit harder or a little bit more once you hear our review of it. So this is Scott, Nick, signing off for Nick Picks number 4, Foregate.
Yeah.
Peace out.